And now I'd like to invite Knut to come and talk to us all about Sanity Learn.
Thanks, Rachel. That was an excellent overview of how Sanity's live content API enables real-time content updates to keep up with customer demand during peak times. And something that we'll hope get high demand is what we are launching now. And with me to announce that, I have Simeon Griggs. We both work in the Sanity developer education and community team with our wonderful colleagues Cap and Martin. And for the next few minutes, we want to talk about education and how you can upskill as a developer building with Sanity. When I started my web developer journey over 20 years ago, there weren't a lot of resources on the web that I could easily find as a 15-year-old kid about building for the web. So I had to borrow a book at the library called HTML for Dummies, and I also subscribed to computer magazines that came in the mail every month. They had some HTML in them that I could kind of transcribe into my computer and try out. Simon, what did you use when you started your web developer journey back in the days?
Yeah, so before I had the internet at home, I would ride my BMX to the library every Saturday and book in a 30-minute online session to fill up as many floppy disks as I had in my backpack with downloaded web pages and images, and then go home and study the source code to build my own table-based layouts in Notepad, essentially doing local first far before it was cool.
And you might argue that developing for the web has gotten much more complex since back then. But on the flip side, the amount of educational content and offerings you have for learning on the web is much, much better now. We have great platforms like Free Code Camp and Egghead, and so many incredible individual educators that are working across all the channels. And I also see more and more companies invest in developing education for developers. Do you have any favorite educational content today, Simeon?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of video content. There's some amazing web development educators on YouTube and a lot of video content now appearing on X as well. And I'm trying to contribute small amounts of that myself lately. But what I haven't seen is educational content about content. Especially using structured content to author things based on what they are, not what they look like, because doing this makes your content much more adaptable to creative uses that you might not have imagined when you were first starting a project. And I also don't see developers talking much about content editors, which is really confounding because every website has content and that content has to come from somewhere. And it is literally somebody's job every day to work with a CMS and put that content in front of your users. So, as someone who's facilitated many workshops to onboard developers with Sanity and get them to appreciate the editor side of the experience, I started a training application to make sure that developers could begin to onboard themselves.
Yeah, and when you launched the training app, it stayed as hidden gem in the Sanity verse for a while. And what I also find interesting about it is that it has less to do with like the technical specifics of Sanity and more to do with how to think about building with structured content, how to accommodate your content teams, and so on.
Yeah, it was essential to me that it was all about making you work ready. So it was less about Sanity works like this and that, and more about what outcomes are you trying to achieve on behalf of your editors. And all of those tasks and concerns, they go into leveraging a CMS. They come up when you're replatforming to Sanity or building out a brand new experience on the web.
And that's why we are very stoked and proud to announce that we are launching the new Sanity Learn platform today for everyone. So this was an evolution of the training app that you made for customers, and it's a new way to learn and upskill in a more directed and opinionated manner. Simon, would you like to take us through some of the things we can do on Sanity Learn?
Sure. So this is the Sanity Learn homepage, and there's a number of courses that we could choose from, but we're sort of directing most people to start with the Day One with Sanity Studio course. It really touches every part of the platform and gets you to create a new project, set up a studio, create schema, make that schema much better, query it with Grok, render it into a front end. You'll get to a real great understanding from start to finish what it's like to work with Sanity. If you're logged in with your Sanity account while you're using the learning app, you'll be able to mark tasks as complete so you can track your progress as you work your way through each lesson. And perhaps most importantly of all, at the bottom of every lesson is this feedback form here. Now, this creates a document in our Sanity Studio, which fires a Grok-powered webhook, which fires a Slack notification, which I get. So consider this form here a hot path to my DMs to leave feedback on any of the course material that you use while you're in the learning app.
Yeah, and some of you have already tried out Sanity Learn during our community beta, and we appreciate all the feedback that Simon got into his DMs. And since we launched the beta, we also have new courses on schema, change management, on TypeScript generation, Epic e-commerce, and other updates as well.
That's right. And we'll continue to develop new courses based on feedback that we receive in the community and from our customers. Sometimes courses will be quite brief, sometimes they'll be more comprehensive. And even though our team often focuses on developers, you'll see course material here about building out resilient Sanity teams. So we want to make sure project managers and content creators are considered as well.
But Simeon, I noticed that the day one course is a part of a track or something. What does that mean?
That's right. So the Day One with Sanity Studio course is part of the Sanity Developer Essentials track.
That's neat. Rhetorical follow-up question. What is the Sanity Developer Essentials track?
I'm so glad that you asked, Knut. Thank you. So I'm stoked to announce that we're also launching the very first Sanity Developer certification. It's the official way to prove that we believe you have what it takes to deliver a Sanity project through to production. And certification's quite new for us. So we want to start first by getting our agency partners involved and having them onboard their developers. And we'll take in their feedback on this program and then open it wide later this year.
That's awesome. So if you are one of our agency partners, let us know for your agency contact or a partner channel so we can get you and your developer colleagues enrolled. And before we pass on the mics, I also want to highlight that Sanity Learn is made with Sanity, of course. And I must say, Simeon, like even though I wasn't surprised, I'm still amazed on how quickly you set up what's essentially a full-fledged learning management system with Sanity and Remix. Not only did it save us from shelling out for some mediocre LMS, but it also allowed us to give Sanity Learn a much more unique look and feel that's more true to our brand identity. Much thanks to our designer colleague, Lars, of course.
Yeah, that's right. We're walking and chewing gum at the same time. And if we had more time, I'd love to go through all of the details about how things like the tasks in there, they're actually custom portable text objects. And when you complete them, it writes to a progress document, which is saved in our same Sanity studio here. It's a very Sanity project from start to finish.
Right on. Maybe we should make like a how to make Sanity learn course or something, right?
That would be meta.
So we do hope everyone tries out Sanity Learn and let us know what you think. And if you're an agency partner, let us know if you want to be enrolled in the Sanity Developer Certification Program. And speaking of learning, we are all in for a treat now, and surely some learning. I'll send it over to Magnus, who has an exceptional guest with him with some unique perspectives on AI. And I look forward to learning more about that.